If you're over 60, and you've noticed it's harder to stay strong, keep your balance, or walk with the same confidence you used to, you're not alone. But here's something most seniors don't realize. That slow loss of muscle? It might not just be from getting older or slowing down. It could actually be caused by foods you've been told are healthy. Yes, you heard that right. Some of the very foods sitting in your kitchen right now, the ones marketed as low-fat, high-protein, or clean, might be quietly working against you. This video is your wake-up call, because today we're pulling back the curtain on 4 common foods that are silently sabotaging your muscle strength, especially in your legs, hips, and core. And the worst part, these are foods you might be eating every day, thinking they're helping you stay in shape or lose weight. But instead, they're contributing to muscle weakness, slower recovery after movement, chronic inflammation, and even a higher risk of falls. So if you've been told to load up on low-fat, high-protein, or whole-grain options, this might be the most important video you'll watch all year. Before we dive in, do us a quick favor. If you're serious about staying strong after 60, go ahead and tap that like button. Subscribe to Senior Fuel for science-backed health tips tailored to adults over 60. And drop a comment below to tell us where you're watching from. We love hearing from our community. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with a food that's everywhere right now. Protein bars. They're stacked in gas stations, health food stores, and supermarket aisles, marketed as muscle fuel for active adults. And yes, protein is essential for muscle maintenance, especially as you age. But here's the catch. Most protein bars are nothing more than glorified candy bars. Sure, they might say 20 grams of protein on the front, but flip the wrapper over and you'll find added sugars, sugar alcohols that bloat your gut, artificial flavors, hydrogenated oils, and a list of preservatives you can't even pronounce. What's worse, many bars use cheap protein sources, like soy protein isolate or collagen byproducts. These forms are far less effective than whole food proteins like eggs, poultry, or fish when it comes to actually building or maintaining muscle. But that's just the beginning. Let's talk about sugar spikes. When you eat a bar packed with hidden sugars, your blood sugar goes way up, then crashes. And when that cycle repeats, your body becomes more insulin resistant, which is directly linked to muscle loss in seniors. Why? Because muscle tissue needs a steady flow of energy and amino acids to rebuild and recover. Sugar crashes tell the body to store fat, not build muscle, which can lead to tiredness after just a short walk, difficulty maintaining strength, increased belly fat, putting more pressure on your joints and back. So while that protein bar claims to boost energy, what it may really be doing is setting you back. And for seniors, there's another layer. As we age, digestion slows down. Your stomach produces less acid, and your gut produces fewer enzymes. That means those highly processed bars, they're harder to digest. This leads to bloating, constipation, gas, and poor nutrient absorption. And if your body isn't absorbing nutrients, your muscles aren't getting what they need to stay strong. What's the better option? Skip the shelf-stable muscle bars and go for real whole food. Here are some senior-friendly protein snacks. A boiled egg with sea salt, a handful of almonds or walnuts, Greek yogurt with a sprinkle of chia seeds, tuna salad wrapped in romaine lettuce. If you truly need a protein bar on the go, look for ones with less than 5 grams of sugar, at least 10 grams of quality protein, no artificial sweeteners, simple ingredients you can actually pronounce. And remember, protein is good, but quality matters way more than the flashy label. Quick recap. Processed protein bars contain cheap proteins, sugars, and chemicals, can spike insulin, disrupt your gut, and stall muscle recovery, are especially risky for older adults with slower digestion. Whole food snacks are always the better bet, especially when paired with healthy fats or fiber. So next time you see a bar that promises lean muscle or sustained energy, flip it over, read the fine print, and give your muscles something better. Coming up next, we reveal the second sneaky health food making your legs weaker, your balance worse, and your recovery slower, even though it's probably sitting in your fridge right now. Spoiler alert, it's a dairy product you've been told is heart healthy for years. Let's move into the second healthy food on our list. And this one might surprise you, because it's been labeled heart-friendly, low-calorie, and perfect for weight loss. We're talking about fat-free yogurt. Yes, that plastic cup of flavored fat-free yogurt that so many seniors reach for as a light snack might be silently stealing your strength. Let's take a closer look. For decades, doctors and diet ads told us, cut the fat, lower the calories, protect your heart. So, many older adults switched to fat-free versions of their favorite dairy products. And at first glance, it sounds like a smart move. Fewer calories, fewer grams of fat, no guilt. But the reality? When you remove the fat from yogurt, the product becomes imbalanced. To keep the taste appealing, manufacturers add sugar, artificial thickeners, and flavor enhancers. Let's compare two common options. A 6-ounce cup of fat-free flavored yogurt, 19 to 25 grams of sugar, 5 to 6 grams of protein, 0 healthy fat. Now look at this. A 6-ounce cup of full-fat Greek yogurt, 5 grams of natural sugar from lactose, 15 to 18 grams of protein, 6 to 10 grams of healthy fat. The difference is dramatic, and it has real effects on your muscle strength. Here's why fat matters after 60. Fat isn't just a fuel, it's a delivery system for vital nutrients, especially fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, critical for muscle contraction and balance. Vitamin A supports tissue repair. Vitamin K2, important for bone strength and heart health. Without fat in your food, your body can't absorb these nutrients properly. So even if you're eating healthy, your muscles might still be undernourished. Then comes the sugar problem. To make fat-free yogurt taste good, companies load it with sugar, especially in popular flavors like peach, strawberry, and vanilla. That sugar doesn't just spike your blood sugar. It fuels inflammation, worsens insulin resistance, and accelerates a condition known as sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. What does that mean for seniors? More fatigue after simple tasks, weaker legs and balance, slower recovery after walking or climbing stairs. Even worse, chronic sugar intake reduces mitochondrial function, meaning your muscle cells can't produce energy as efficiently. That's not just about strength, it's about independence. And it doesn't stop there. To replace the missing fat, many fat-free yogurts also contain artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame, gums and starches like carrageenan or cornstarch, artificial colors and preservatives. These can disrupt your gut microbiome, irritate your digestive lining, and interfere with the hormones that regulate muscle growth. Low protein equals missed opportunity. Fat-free yogurt also tends to be low in protein. And after 60, every gram counts. Older adults need around 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal to prevent muscle loss. But a typical fat-free yogurt only gives you about 5 grams. That's barely a dent in your daily needs. And it's a big reason many seniors unknowingly slip into catabolic states, where your body breaks down more tissue than it rebuilds. The result? Weaker legs, reduced balance, and higher risk of falls. What should you eat instead? Don't ditch yogurt, just upgrade it. Here are better options for seniors. Plain full-fat Greek yogurt, rich in protein and healthy fats. Add fruit or cinnamon for taste. Icelandic skyr, whole milk. High protein and often gentler on digestion. Unsweetened kefir, a probiotic-rich drink that supports digestion and offers muscle fuel. Unsweetened coconut yogurt, a great dairy-free choice, especially when paired with chia seeds or protein powder. Pro tip: add a few walnuts or pumpkin seeds to boost magnesium, protein, and muscle recovery. Try this muscle-boosting yogurt bowl. Here's a senior-friendly recipe that's delicious and powerful. 3/4 cup plain Greek yogurt, full fat. 1 tablespoon ground flax seeds. 1 half-ripe banana. 1/4 cup blueberries. 1 tablespoon almond butter. Dash of cinnamon. This gives you over 20 grams of protein, healthy fats, natural fiber, and anti-inflammatory nutrients, all in one bowl. Great for breakfast. Perfect as a snack. And your muscles will thank you. Let's recap. Fat-free yogurt may look light and healthy, but for seniors it's often too high in sugar, too low in protein, and missing the fats that help absorb essential nutrients. The result? Your muscles stay undernourished, inflamed, and weaker over time. The good news? A simple swap to full-fat, protein-rich yogurt can reverse that trend. Coming up next, we're diving into a food group that's supposed to support your heart, digestion, and energy. But when eaten too often, it can actually weaken your legs, stiffen your joints, and drain your energy after 60. Spoiler, it's something nearly every senior eats at breakfast. Let's talk about something most seniors have been told to eat more of. Whole grains. You know the ones. Oatmeal, brown rice, whole wheat bread, bran flakes, multi-grain crackers. They're everywhere, and they're marketed as heart healthy, great for digestion, full of energy and fiber. Sounds perfect, right? But here's the truth most older adults never hear. Overdoing whole grains, especially processed versions, can actually drain your strength, stiffen your joints, and quietly sabotage your muscle health after 60. Let's break down why. 1. Whole grains contain anti-nutrients. Whole grains come with a natural compound called phytic acid or phytates. These act as anti-nutrients. Why? Because they bind to important minerals like magnesium, essential for muscle contraction, zinc, needed for tissue repair, calcium, supports nerve signaling and bone health, iron, carries oxygen to your muscles. When you eat a grain-heavy diet, phytic acid can block your body from absorbing these minerals. And that means your muscles aren't getting the tools they need to stay strong, especially as you age, when absorption already becomes less efficient. 2. Gluten sensitivity increases after 60. Even if you've never had an issue with gluten, that can change as you get older. Gluten, found in wheat, rye, and barley, is a common ingredient in many whole grain products. And in sensitive individuals, even mild gluten exposure can trigger gut inflammation, poor nutrient absorption, fatigue, joint and muscle aches, sluggish recovery from activity. And here's the kicker. These symptoms often mimic the signs of aging, so they're easy to overlook or misdiagnose. You may think it's just getting older, when in reality, it's your breakfast working against you. 3. Too many carbs equals insulin resistance equals muscle loss. Whole grains still contain a lot of carbohydrates, and when you eat too many, your blood sugar spikes. That triggers a release of insulin, the hormone that helps move sugar into your cells. But over time, especially in older adults, your cells stop responding properly to insulin. That's called insulin resistance, and it leads to fat storage, slow muscle repair, poor glucose absorption by muscles. Instead of growing stronger, you lose muscle, you gain belly fat, and your energy crashes. 4. Grains often push out the protein. This is a big problem. Seniors often load up on grains, thinking they're healthy. But what happens? There's no room left for the protein your muscles actually need. A breakfast of oatmeal, toast, and fruit? It looks healthy, but it's missing the amino acids your muscles desperately need to stay strong and balanced. Without enough protein, you recover slower, you feel weaker, and your stability declines. It's not about ditching grains completely. It's about rebalancing your plate. But what about fiber? Yes, whole grains do have fiber, and fiber is important. But it's not the only or best source. You can get excellent anti-inflammatory fiber from leafy greens, root vegetables, avocados, chia seeds and flax seeds, lentils and beans. These also give you vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, without the phytic acid or excess carbs. The idea that grains equals fiber equals health is outdated, especially for aging bodies that need nutrient density, not just fullness. How to eat grains smart after 60. You don't need to cut them all out. Just eat them more strategically. Here's how. Stick to 1 to 2 servings of whole grains per day, not with every meal. Choose sprouted or fermented grains, like Ezekiel bread or sourdough. Soak or sprout grains at home. It improves mineral absorption. Always pair grains with protein and healthy fat. Never eat them alone. Focus more on vegetables and legumes for your fiber. Try this example. Instead of a full bowl of brown rice, mix half with sautéed spinach and a poached egg. Now you've got fiber, minerals, and quality protein, all in one. Better carb sources for seniors. Here are smart alternatives to grain overload. Quinoa, a complete protein, rich in magnesium. Sweet potatoes, full of potassium and steady energy. Butternut squash, supports circulation and joint health. Wild rice, higher protein than white or brown rice. Root veggies, nourish blood flow and muscle oxygenation. All of these support your strength, without spiking blood sugar or blocking nutrient absorption. Final word on whole grains. Whole grains can have a place in your diet, but they're not the nutrient heroes we once believed, especially in excess. If you're over 60 and trying to preserve strength, balance, and mobility, take a closer look at your grain intake. That heart-healthy breakfast or high-fiber toast. It might be what's keeping you tired, inflamed, and underfueled. You don't need to eliminate grains, just rethink the way they show up on your plate. Coming up next, we're heading back to the breakfast table to uncover a food that's probably in your pantry right now. It's colorful, it's convenient, and it's marketed like a superfood. But for seniors, it's a silent muscle killer. Let's be honest. For many seniors, breakfast is a routine. You wake up, you pour a bowl of cereal, add a splash of milk, maybe toss in a banana, and call it a healthy start to the day. But what if we told you that very habit could be silently sabotaging your leg strength, your energy, and your recovery? Even worse, it could be fueling muscle decline over time. We're talking about sugary cereals. Not just the obvious ones like Fruit Loops or Frosted Flakes, but also the healthier-looking ones like Raisin Bran, Honey Nut Cheerios, Special K with red berries, whole grain granola clusters, Bran Flakes with heart-healthy labels. These cereals are sold as smart choices, but here's what's really going on. 1. Sugar spikes equals muscle breakdown. Most box cereals contain 10 to 20 grams of sugar per serving. And let's be honest, most people don't stop at one serving. Once digested, that sugar quickly turns into glucose, flooding your bloodstream. Your body reacts by releasing insulin to bring sugar levels down. But repeated sugar spikes? They lead to insulin resistance, where your cells stop responding properly to insulin. This doesn't just affect blood sugar. It also prevents your muscles from absorbing the glucose and amino acids they need to grow and repair. The result? Less protein synthesis, more fat storage, slower recovery after walking or exercise, and greater fatigue, especially in the legs. 2. Low protein equals no muscle support. Let's talk about another problem with breakfast cereal. It's low in protein. A typical bowl with milk contains 25 to 35 grams of carbs, 12 to 18 grams of sugar, less than 5 grams of protein. But seniors need 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal to maintain muscle strength and prevent loss. So what happens when you start your day with carbs and sugar, and barely any protein? You're fueling a crash. You're setting yourself up for fatigue. And you're starving your muscles of the nutrients they need to stay strong. 3. Artificial additives equals inflammation and toxic load. Even cereals labeled whole grain are usually highly processed. To improve flavor, color, and shelf life, companies add artificial flavors, synthetic colors, preservatives, fortified vitamins, which aren't always absorbed well, chemical sweeteners or hidden sugars. These additives can overwork your liver, kidneys, and gut. And for seniors, that's a serious problem. Why? Because those organs regulate nutrient absorption, hormone balance, inflammation control, and energy production. The result? More systemic inflammation, more joint stiffness, more fatigue, and weaker legs. 4. Refined grains equals empty fuel. Most cereals are made with refined grains, wheat, corn, or rice that's been stripped of its fiber and nutrients. These grains digest quickly. That means sugar spikes, poor energy sustainability, and minimal muscle fuel. So instead of feeding your strength, they leave you drained by mid-morning. And that's when many seniors start snacking constantly, just to stay awake and focused. 5. What's a better breakfast? If you want to protect your strength, you have to flip the script on breakfast. Here are senior-friendly options that nourish your muscles. Overnight oats with chia seeds, almond butter, and berries. 2 scrambled eggs with spinach and half an avocado. Protein smoothie with Greek yogurt, banana, and nuts. Cottage cheese with flaxseed and cinnamon. Chia pudding with unsweetened almond milk and blueberries. Each of these meals offers steady energy, high-quality protein, fiber and healthy fats, anti-inflammatory benefits, perfect fuel for strong muscles without the sugar bomb. Be cautious of healthy-looking cereals. Marketing is powerful, so don't fall for buzzwords like whole grain, multigrain, heart smart, fortified with vitamins, made with real fruit. Always flip the box over and read the nutrition label. If sugar is listed in the first 3 ingredients, or if it has more than 10 grams of sugar per serving, it's a red flag. Also look for hidden sugars disguised as cane syrup, maltodextrin, corn syrup solids, brown rice syrup, evaporated cane juice. Even a few bowls a week can add up and quietly chip away at your muscle health. Final thoughts on sugary cereals. Sugary cereals are not senior food. They're blood sugar bombs disguised in bright boxes. And while they're familiar and easy, the long-term cost is serious. Reduced leg strength, more inflammation, poor recovery, slower walking, and higher fall risk. If you want to stay strong, balanced, and independent, cut the cereal. Trade it for something real. Something with muscle-building power. Something that supports you, not weakens you. You've now learned the 4 surprising health foods stealing your strength. Next, we reveal what you should be eating. Simple, powerful foods that help rebuild muscle, protect your joints, and boost your energy, even after 60. You don't want to miss it. Alright, we've exposed the truth about processed protein bars, fat-free yogurt, excess whole grains, and sugary cereals. But now it's time to shift our focus. Let's talk about what you should be eating to stay strong, steady, and energized, especially in your golden years. Because here's the good news. Muscle loss after 60 is not inevitable. With the right nutrition, you can rebuild lost strength, improve balance, support your joints, and stay active, no matter your age. Let's dive into the superfoods and smart eating strategies that support strong muscles and a vibrant life. 1. High-quality protein, your number 1 muscle saver. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at using dietary protein. So what does that mean? You need more of it, and you need it more often. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein at every meal. Spread evenly throughout the day. Don't save it all for dinner. Here are the best protein sources for seniors. Eggs contain all 9 essential amino acids, plus choline for nerve health. Chicken or turkey breast, lean, digestible, and muscle-friendly. Salmon or sardines, rich in anti-inflammatory omega-3s. Full-fat Greek yogurt, high in casein and whey proteins. Cottage cheese, slow digesting, great for overnight muscle support. Lentils and chickpeas, great plant-based options with fiber. Tofu and tempeh, ideal for vegetarians and muscle repair. Pro tip, add a scoop of collagen peptides or clean protein powder to your oatmeal or smoothie for an effortless boost. 2. Anti-inflammatory foods for better recovery. Muscle soreness, joint pain, and slow recovery aren't just about age. They're often signs of chronic inflammation. Here's how to fight back with food. Turmeric plus black pepper reduces post-exercise soreness. Berries, loaded with anthocyanins that repair damaged tissue. Leafy greens, like kale and spinach, rich in antioxidants and magnesium. Avocados, packed with healthy fats and potassium. Olive oil, helps fight oxidative stress. Walnuts and almonds, provide omega-3s and vitamin E. Snack idea, try Greek yogurt topped with blueberries and chia seeds. A perfect anti-inflammatory, protein-rich snack. 3. Magnesium and potassium, the unsung muscle heroes. Most people talk about protein, but few talk about electrolytes, which are essential for muscle function. After 60, many seniors are deficient in magnesium, helps muscles relax and reduces cramping. Potassium, needed for muscle contractions and heart function. Top magnesium-rich foods. Pumpkin seeds. Almonds. Spinach. Black beans. Dark chocolate, 80% or higher. Top potassium-rich foods. Avocados. Sweet potatoes. Beets. Bananas. Coconut water. Seniors often become deficient due to medications, dehydration, or poor absorption, so it's critical to eat these daily. 4. Smart carbs, slow energy, stronger muscles. Your muscles need carbohydrates, but the right kind. Avoid the blood sugar bombs. Instead, choose low-glycemic, fiber-rich carbs like quinoa, a complete protein that's also a slow-digesting carb. Steel-cut oats, better than instant oats, steady energy release. Sweet potatoes, rich in beta-carotene and potassium. Wild rice and brown rice, provide manganese and selenium. Lentils and black beans, fuel your muscles and feed your gut bacteria. These carbs provide lasting energy, muscle fuel, and a healthy blood sugar response. 5. Hydration, the most overlooked muscle tool. Did you know even mild dehydration can drop your muscle performance by 10 to 20%? And as we age, our thirst response weakens, which means many seniors are chronically dehydrated. Signs include leg cramps, fatigue, joint stiffness, headaches, muscle tightness. Here's how to stay hydrated. Drink 6 to 8 glasses of water daily. Add electrolytes, no sugar, if you're sweating or on diuretics. Sip herbal teas like ginger, turmeric, or peppermint. Include water-rich foods like cucumber, oranges, and watermelon. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Make water a daily habit, just like your meals. 6. When you eat matters. Most seniors eat too little in the morning and too much at night. That pattern leads to blood sugar crashes, poor digestion, weaker muscle recovery. Instead, structure your meals like this. Breakfast, high protein plus fiber plus healthy fat. Lunch, lean protein plus complex carb plus veggie. Snack, protein shake, yogurt, or a handful of nuts. Dinner, light and balanced. Avoid heavy starches before bed. Spacing your meals every 4 to 5 hours helps fuel your muscles and stabilize energy levels. Recap: what belongs on a senior's plate? Here's the ultimate muscle-supporting plate after 60. 1/4 protein, chicken, eggs, salmon, lentils, tofu. 1/4 healthy carbs, sweet potato, quinoa, wild rice. 1/2 non-starchy veggies, spinach, broccoli, peppers. 1 tablespoon healthy fat, olive oil, avocado, chia seeds. Sprinkle of anti-inflammatories, garlic, turmeric, herbs. Drink water, green tea, or herbal tea. Repeat this formula 2 to 3 times daily, and you'll feel stronger, more stable, and more energized from the inside out. Coming up next, in our final segment, we'll put everything together. You'll get a simple daily plan you can follow, complete with shopping tips, meals, supplements, and the best forms of gentle movement to support your strength. Let's finish strong. You've made it to the final segment, and you now know the truth. Many so-called healthy foods, like protein bars, fat-free yogurt, whole grains, and sugary cereals, can slowly erode your muscle strength, especially as you age. But the great news? You can fight back and rebuild strength starting today. Let's pull everything together into a simple daily routine you can follow to support your muscles, joints, and overall vitality. Step 1. Build a muscle-friendly grocery list. Let's make your next grocery trip muscle smart. Here's exactly what to stock and what to skip. Stock up on protein sources: eggs, cottage cheese, plain Greek yogurt not fat-free, chicken breast, turkey, wild-caught salmon, canned tuna, tofu, tempeh, lentils, chickpeas, clean whey or plant-based protein powders, sardines, rich in omega-3s and vitamin D, smart carbs, sweet potatoes, quinoa, wild rice, sprouted grain bread, black beans, lentils, healthy fats, extra virgin olive oil, avocados, nuts and seeds, especially pumpkin, chia, and flax, natural nut butters, no added sugar or hydrogenated oils, hydration helpers, herbal teas, ginger, turmeric, green mint, citrus fruits and cucumbers, great for infused waters, electrolyte powders, low or no sugar, anti-inflammatory produce, leafy greens, berries, bell peppers, broccoli, beets, Brussels sprouts, garlic, ginger, turmeric, fresh herbs. Avoid or greatly limit prepackaged protein bars with more than 5g sugar, fat-free dairy, sugary cereals, even whole grain kinds, white bread, crackers, baked snacks, granola mixes with added syrups or processed oils. Anything with long, unrecognizable ingredient lists. Step 2. A day of senior muscle smart eating. Let's walk through a full day of simple, strength-boosting meals. Breakfast: 2 eggs scrambled with spinach and turmeric and olive oil. 1 slice sprouted grain toast with avocado. Green tea or water with lemon. Mid-morning snack. Full-fat Greek yogurt with chia seeds and blueberries. Lunch. Grilled chicken or chickpeas over quinoa. Roasted veggies, arugula, olive oil dressing. Afternoon snack. Handful of almonds. Or a protein smoothie with collagen, berries, and coconut water. Dinner. Baked salmon or tofu. Steamed broccoli and sweet potatoes. Small bowl of lentil soup. Water infused with cucumber and mint. Before bed, optional. Cottage cheese. Or warm almond milk with turmeric and black pepper. That's a full day of quality protein, slow carbs, anti-inflammatory fats, electrolytes and fiber, all without sugar overload or digestive stress. Step 3. Add gentle movement for even better results. Here's the secret most people miss. Food builds the material for strength, but movement tells your body where to use it. Even small amounts of gentle exercise can dramatically improve muscle function. And no, you don't need a gym. Try this weekly plan. Strength 2-3x/week. Chair squats. Wall push-ups. Resistance band exercises. Light dumbbells, water bottles work too. Balance 3-4x/week. Stand on one leg while brushing your teeth. Heel-to-toe walks across the room. Tai Chi or gentle yoga videos. Cardio 3-5x/week. Brisk walking, outdoors or in place. Stationary cycling. Swimming or water aerobics. Just 20 to 30 minutes a day, 4 to 5 days a week, can boost muscle growth and protect your independence. Bonus tip: movement increases your body's ability to absorb protein, so your meals become even more effective. Step 4. Supplements when needed. Whole food should always come first. But some seniors benefit from the following clinically supported supplements. Vitamin D3 supports bone density, muscle function, and coordination. Magnesium citrate or glycinate helps muscle relaxation and nerve signaling. Collagen peptides boost connective tissue and skin strength. Creatine monohydrate supports energy and muscle repair, safe for seniors. Protein powders, ideal if your appetite is low or you need quick meals. Always talk to your healthcare provider before starting new supplements, especially if you take medication. Step 5. Weekly meal prep equals daily strength. Many seniors get tired of cooking or lose motivation to prepare meals daily. That's why a little meal prep can go a long way. Here are some easy wins. Bake 4 to 6 sweet potatoes and refrigerate. Grill or roast chicken, tofu, or fish and portion into containers. Pre-chop veggies and store in zip bags. Make a big pot of lentil soup or quinoa. Portion healthy snacks. Walnuts, pumpkin seeds, apple slices with almond butter. Having these ready means less temptation to grab sugar-loaded snacks or instant cereal packets. Final words of encouragement. You now have the full blueprint. You've learned which healthy foods quietly damage muscle health after 60, and exactly what to eat to preserve and even rebuild strength. Here's the takeaway. You're not at the mercy of aging. You can take back your energy. You can protect your independence. You can feel strong again. All it takes is a few smart swaps, repeated consistently. If this video helped you, do us a quick favor. Tap the like button. Subscribe to Senior Fuel, your trusted source for science-backed health tips after 60. And leave a comment. Which of these healthy foods surprised you most? We love hearing from our community. And remember, stay active, stay sharp, stay strong with Senior Fuel.